Welcome, everybody. Oh, by the way, I was supposed to let you know I'm an ass. Anyway, welcome to Down the Middle, everybody. Before we get rolling, I'm going to test the audio. Supposed to let you know I'm an ass. Anyway, welcome to Down the Middle, everybody. Throw me a little something, please, buddy.
Sure. Can you hear me good? Is it clear?
Throw me a little something, please, buddy. Yep. All good. Welcome to Down the Middle. We are back. Hope everybody had a pleasant or at least tolerable Thanksgiving because presumably you were around relatives, so we can hope for the best. That being said, a couple of quick announcements, and then we'll get into the wrestling. You may have noticed at the beginning of the podcast, if you're watching this, um, vote for us for the Artie Awards. First link in the description. We're nominated in a couple of categories, and we need you to vote for us so that we can win the championship belt. And I think a down the middle theme championship belt would be sick. That would be
Okay, that'd
really,
be
really cool.
awesome.
That would be
Yeah.
really, really cool. That being said, some other things. This podcast is brought to you by Leading the Band and by the Arte podcast. I'm just recently, what day was that? Saturday? On the Arte podcast, I released one episode a month and I released it on November 30th because it took a long time. That being said, it's my favorite episode I've ever done. So check that out. Links are in the description. Now, let's get into some wrestling. Which one do we want to tackle first? AEW or WWE?
It could be either one. I saw both of them, and both were like good and bad, I guess.
Yeah, so
I had
you had
yeah,
said they were both kind of mixed bags.
yeah, because like okay, the AEW was had some good matches, even though they all had like bad spots in them. But we could do AEW first. 'Cause I
All
think
right.
it came first.
Do you have the card up, or would you like me to pull it up?
Yeah, I had it.
Because I kind of have fun reacting blind to this because I was traveling, so I didn't get a chance to watch either of them. But
Uh-huh.
I heard the Survivor Series was really good, and I had heard that elements of Full Gear were surprisingly good. So,
Yeah, there was definitely elements of Full Gear that was it was fun. It was exciting. I liked it, but there's other parts like
that
mostly
were
the
just
ending part. Yeah,
AEW.
exactly. It was more of the same. So I bet starting off with the first match or the pre-show. I didn't see the pre-show, but it was Anna Jay versus Donna Perazzo, and Anna Jay won.
So
And
again, Deanna Purrazzo's on a pre-show match, and she was supposedly the biggest signing ever. I mean, it's been a little while now, but it's still only been months. It's not like it was a year ago.
yeah, but yeah, she got like old really quick though. Like I can only imagine. I only think of like maybe one or two matches that show how good she was, and then the rest was like she's almost like a jobber.
Well, again, pre-show matches. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did she not compete for the World Women's title, or was it the TBS title? I can't remember.
I believe it was the TBS. I'm not
Okay, that
completely
makes
sure, but
sense.
I'm pretty sure it was the TBS.
Okay, yeah, it's to the point now where I'm just tired. Like,
Yeah.
Tony Khan can't book well. He can promote. I'll give credit where credit's due. Tony can promote and
Mhm.
Tony can make matches, but he can't book. And there's a very, very important but subtle difference there. Whereas it seems like for a long time, WWE could book really well, but they couldn't make great matches. And now they're making great matches and booking so well.
Yeah, for the most part. Like
Yeah, I mean,
seems both
there's
it's just
always
like the
goofy
women's
stuff.
division and both of them are just lackluster. Like I don't know why they can't book the women's like really good.
That's curious too, because Triple H has historically been able to book women's wrestling very well.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if The Rock's interfering, but from what I understand,
Oh yeah, I
Triple
forgot he
H,
was there too.
yeah, Triple H doesn't have a free hand necessarily, but the way I understand it is he's pretty much been told, yeah, what you think is best for business, huh? Uh, I mean, but it's just he's got a track record.
Yeah.
NXT is the track record. and then just the complete flip in ratings that happened realistically in less than 2 months
Hmm.
when he was given control of creative. So not for nothing. And it's nice to see Anna. Has Anna Jay been around? Because I apologize to everybody. I still haven't gotten caught up on wrestling. I need to.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like Anna Jay, both of them, to be honest, unless they're in ROH. Like I really don't
Oh
see them
yeah, I think
doing
Anna
anything.
Jay's been in ROH, which
Yeah.
don't get me started on that because I'm sorry, you pushed her like a high mid card talent and then she
Hmm.
just disappears to Ring of Honor. Like, to be fair, maybe she needed reps, sure, but why'd you put her on TV? Like, this
She
all goes
was
back.
injured, I think, for a bit, but I think she was injured for a bit. I'm not too sure, but
Okay, that's about the
still.
only way. Yeah, that's about the only way you can get away with it. She has to go off TV for injury, and then it's like, okay, well, instead of coming back to TV immediately, you're gonna go to
Hmm.
ROH, get some reps in, get some ring work in.
Yeah, this just still sucks 'cause they both are pretty good. I like them both. But
Yeah,
that was the pre-show. The first card I saw was it was kind of odd. It was Buddy Matthews versus Dante Martin
on a
and
pay-per-view?
yeah, yeah. It was a four-way match between Dante, Commander,
Oh,
and
of course.
and the Beast Mortos. It was just so odd because okay, Buddy Matthews, he's a star. He's really good.
Yeah, but he's not
And
booked
even
like
Dante
one.
Martin. Yeah, exactly. And
Dante Martin, and I'm not knocking him because I love Dante Martin, but just because of
yeah,
his age, he's high mid-card babyface.
absolutely. He looks it, he acts it.
It's just like there's this weird thing that happened in wrestling. This happened like in the 2010 and earlier than that, where it was almost a sin to view a wrestler as other than world champion material, and it's just like no, it's never been like that. Like Ricochet. I love Ricochet. I've never disliked Ricochet as a wrestler, but he will never, ever, as he is now with that name and his current style. I don't say never because I think that if he could
Things could change. Yeah,
he could very easily change his name, change his
absolutely.
style. He could be a world champion, but as he is right now,
Yeah,
Ricochet will never be WWE champion ever. It's not going to happen because he doesn't fit the
yeah,
mold. And then other people are going to say, "Well, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is the one in a million exception that proves the rule. The reason his story works is because he's not the typical champion mold."
yeah. And for when I saw Ray, I never seen something like it before. I wasn't watching Luchador wrestling, so he was one of one for me because
Well,
I never seen that before. I remember
well,
when he
and
first came.
and this is the thing that people don't understand. When Rey Mysterio got huge, he toned the lucha elements down to like. Don't get me wrong, he's still lucha for sure,
Mhm.
but he toned them down to make sort of like a hybrid style that fit a little bit more into a traditional match wrestling style
Yeah,
where it could work with people that were used to working the WWE style.
absolutely. You could
And
compare him
that's
to like Sin Cara. Sin Cara was more Luchador, but you see Ray was not the complete opposite, but he was different.
yeah, from a lucha standpoint, which is why he was probably having a blast in Lucha Underground when he was there because he was doing stuff he hadn't done since,
Yeah,
ECW. And frankly, I was shocked that his niece could still do it.
me too.
I saw a couple things he did and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
It was like, how are you walking? I don't understand. I mean, some of those guys, I don't
Yeah.
understand. Their bodies defy mechanics, and I appreciate it, but world champions they are not outside of WWE maybe because, like I said, Ricochet was the first Lucha Underground champion. And fun fact about Lucha Underground, I found this out recently. You remember Matanza Cueto, the masked wrestler that was the brother of the owner guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah.
You know who that was?
No.
Jeff Cobb.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I found that out recently. I was like, holy shit, that's Jeff Cobb, and now I totally see it.
wow. I had no idea.
I didn't
That's
either. So
hmm,
yeah, that was fun. Yeah, so this seems like standard AEW fare thus far. What else you got?
All right, the next match. Oh yeah, Buddy won.
Oh, buddy, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
shame. So my main point, it's a shame because, like you said, Buddy is a superstar, but he's not booked like
He
one.
is.
And I mean,
He
you
looks
don't.
it.
It's weird because they always put him with freakishly tall people, and you don't realize how big he is.
That's true.
Buddy Matthews is a massive human being.
Hmm.
He is huge, but they put him next to guys that are like 6'5", 6'6" all the time,
Yeah.
and he looks small compared to them, but he is not small. He's a big dude.
He's not. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like in bodybuilding, I could compare him to like Lee Priest, if anybody knows who that is. Like he's a shorter guy, but massive when he
Yeah,
was like, yeah,
he's
exactly.
fucking yeah.
Yeah,
And then Commander. Hey, did we ever? We never did figure out who that luchador autograph was. Is that Commander?
I have no idea.
I have no idea who that is.
Let's say it is. It's Commander.
It's well, no, I'm still going with generic luchador number two. Generico dos.
Yeah.
Okay, so who won that match again? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it was Buddy Matthews. He won that one
Well, I mean
in the fall.
that's just logical.
Yeah,
What was it for? Was it just a random four way?
I believe so. Like if it was a storyline, I have no idea. Wasn't really watching Dynamite
No,
or
it's AEW.
Rampage,
There's no
so
storyline.
so I have
But again,
honestly I couldn't tell you.
for a pay per view, really? Okay.
All right, for the next one, the 0 hour pre-show, it was. Oh no, this is garbage. This it's the Costco guy who does like the commercials for
Oh
Costco
God, not
versus
him.
QT Marshall.
Oh, I
I
heard
skipped
about
this.
this.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, so
Okay,
care less.
I have a bit of a nitpick here, and I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but hear me out. Okay, the term broken, as far as injuries go, gets thrown around a lot. Now, I understand that medically speaking, a fracture is technically a break, but
Yeah,
most people, when they think broken, they think broken, as in cleanly broken.
yeah, absolutely.
So everybody's talking about how this guy went out there and wrestled with a broken foot. That's great. I don't buy it. I buy that he went out and wrestled with a fractured foot
Yeah.
for sure. And I forget what they call it. It's a real minimal fracture in your foot, but it hurts like a mother. Like it
Uh-huh.
hurts so bad. Even if you're not walking, it's a throbbing, constant pain. If he went out and wrestled with that, hats off to you. But his foot was not broken in the sense that most people think. Because if it was, he wouldn't be able to stand on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. But they embellish
See,
to make it
that's
seem
the
like
thing, and
something else is.
that's how I sound like an asshole because it's technically not an embellishment if you're speaking medically, but it's one of those
Okay,
things where
okay.
I think a lot of times they're like, "Oh yeah, I broke my arm," and it's like, "No, you have a fracture, but
Yeah.
it's not broken." But it's like just be
It's
honest.
broken where it's not working like it should or
Or even
like
if
it
there's a
does.
crack on the bone, it's technically a fracture, and that
Yeah, that's
hurts,
yeah. Yeah.
and it hurts. It's done it, but like I cracked a knuckle many years ago.
Hmm.
Technically a break. I never refer to it as a break. I didn't break my hand. I cracked a knuckle that
Hmm.
had to heal and it calloused and you can't see it on the camera, but in real life you can see it. It just calloused over. I looked
Uh-huh.
like a son of a bitch, but
Can imagine.
I never said I broke my hand. That being said, why is why is this guy on television, much less a pay-per-view?
From what I saw, like I saw interview with QT Marshall, and he said it's his friend for like 20 years or something like that. So that's as far as I got into it. He's there because QT's there.
Well, that's better than they just want the TikTokers. I just assumed they wanted the TikTokers.
Oh, that too. That was just a bonus, you know.
But okay, another rant. I understand the sort of inclination for a television show to want to include someone who is viral. But do
Yeah.
you want to do that at the expense of your product? For example, if you want someone who is viral, invite the veteran Jack Vaughn, who is a wrestler, who makes hilarious TikToks about wrestling. He is a wrestler.
Hmm.
He is a trained wrestler. Have him on. The fucking Costco guy, and whose kid apparently is known as the Rizzler, and
Yeah.
I'm
It's his
not I'm not I'm
son's
not I'm not going to speak ill of
father.
a child. I have a rule. I'm not going to speak ill of a child no matter how ridiculous the antics are. So I'm going to leave him alone, but oh my God, I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I don't want to watch it.
Same
It's
here.
dumb. But who won? That's the real question.
From this, I think who was it?
QT lost, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's his yeah, Big Justice. I think it's his wife. Or the guy name is Big Boom AJ with Big Justice.
A big justice
Fall.
is the kid.
Okay, okay. I thought it was his wife. I don't know. It's like a family thing.
Oh my God. Well, and the funny thing is, I remember I was seeing posts on social media, and everybody was like, "He's saying the thing. He's saying the thing." And what thing? Who are these people? I have no idea who these people. I thought they were just indie wrestlers. I did, and
Uh
I don't know who these people are.
it's like
It
real
turns out,
Costco guys.
oh my God, I thought that was their tag team name. Legitimately, I thought they were the Costco guys. I'm like, wow, that's stupid. Lo and behold, we always we always slam and ball.
Yeah. I hate Costco, so I don't care.
Really, I've only been in one time, and my spiel about Costco. Everybody always tells me because Costco is really big where I live. There's like
Uh-huh.
three of them. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
wow.
But everybody's always like, "Whoa, why don't you go to Costco?" I'm like, because I live by myself.
Yeah, yeah. It's for me. It's just I don't know. I don't like the people there. It's
The
like,
shoppers or the staff?
both, all of them.
No, I always heard this. I always heard the staff was quite nice, but
No, no, well, not the one.
really,
No, no.
well,
Well,
you live in New York though.
yeah, yeah. I almost got in an argument with one because they kept pressuring me to upgrade my card. Like they come up to me while I'm shopping, say, "Oh, let me scan your card for an upgrade." Or it's another $65. Like I don't want it.
Get away from me! I just
It
want to buy
was
my bulk food and leave.
yeah, exactly. It was like eggs and milk or something, whatever. But it was something simple.
Just
Like I don't even
just
shop
let me
that
buy
much.
my 3 gallon jug of milk and my
Yeah, I
24 carton of eggs and leave me alone.
think it was like 5 dozen. Close.
Okay, okay, so yeah, the only reason I don't go shop at Costco or Sam's Club, the same reason. I don't believe in paying for the privilege of shopping somewhere, first of all, so that's just fundamentally it. And
Same.
secondly, I don't there's not anything that I need to buy in bulk because it's just me. It will go bad before I eat it.
Exactly. Like to me, well, the one like the area where I'm at, it's like a lot of people act like it's a privilege to shop at Costco.
Oh, they
Like you
do.
pay
Yeah,
$70 to shop there. Like it's not some exclusive club or something. You
but it
just pay
is.
money. They'll accept anybody.
Well, no, well, no. The thing is, I don't know if you may or may not be familiar with Carmel, Indiana. I don't live in Carmel, but I live close to Carmel, Indiana.
No, no, no.
Okay. What's the best way I can describe it? What's the ritz? Think of it as what's the ritzy part of New York other than Manhattan? But like, is there a
Oh, okay. Like where I used to work at is called the Westchester.
Okay, yes, perfect, perfect. It's
So,
the Westchester of Indiana.
gosh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's like
I know
that.
exactly. And
Yeah,
that's how
it's
Costco is where I'm at. So it's like,
yeah.
I
That's why
hate
there's
going.
the funny thing is, I think no, actually, I take that back. Yeah, there's four. I think there's one in Carmel. There's one a little south of there, which is technically Indianapolis, but it's right next to Fishers, which is another. Fishers is the Brooklyn of Indiana.
Okay.
And then there's one in Noblesville, which is mm, is there a high end of I've never been to New York. Is there a high end area of Queens, or is that kind of more suburb?
It's both. It
Yeah,
depends
okay.
which area, but it is.
That's okay. So Noblesville is the Queens of Indiana because it has both.
Uh-huh.
It has really really nice ritzy areas and it has kind of like normal areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's funny. What else we got? We have a Bronx too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I
Really?
live close. I live close to the Bronx of Indiana.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, no, I
Okay.
take that back. Gary is probably the Bronx of Indiana. Although, again,
Yeah,
never
I
been
heard
in,
about Gary. So
again,
yeah, I've heard Gary.
never been to New York. Is the Bronx really that bad?
It depends. It honestly depends what area you're in. Like
What time of day?
some, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sometimes you pass by and you keep your windows up.
when oh God, when I was so okay, little geography. Like anybody from Indianapolis knows what I'm talking about. So Indianapolis is essentially like a big square-ish area right in the middle of the state, and you got the north side, south side, east side, and west side, right? And it was funny because when I was growing up, the west side was the hood. Like that was the bad end of
Yeah.
town. And the east side was nice. It wasn't north side's always been like the the swanky area. It's always
Yeah.
been that way.
Mhm.
But the east side was kind of like the nice suburb of the north side.
Mhm.
Nice shopping malls, nice movie, everything was nice. And then it slowly shifted. So the east side is now like danger zone, and the west side,
Yeah.
there's pockets that are kind of sketchy looking, but none of it's really all that bad. I live on the west side of Indianapolis.
That's how the Bronx was. It
Yeah.
was exactly like that. And then it was a switch. And now it's like another switch because being that the Bronx is near like so many shopping areas and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like Yankee Stadium and all that stuff. So they're trying to make more high rises over
Sure.
here and move more people in. Like it's really weird because like for a studio could be like 1,500 for this new place
Now is
and
that
down the
that's
huh?
cheap in New York though, right? Relatively speaking.
Yes and no. It's cheap. Depends. That's the area. For the Bronx, it's extremely high because that's what I'm saying. It's
Okay,
like
okay, I
really
got you.
weird. It's like
I got
you
you.
have a $1,500 a month apartment next to a liquor store,
Yeah.
and so and
Well,
next
you're
to an
paying
apartment that's way less. So
well,
it's
you're paying
just
for the convenience.
yeah, I guess so. Not the
But
view.
but yeah, but so anyway, my point being, so when my realtor was driving me out here to look at
Uh,
this house, we drove by a couple of blocks, and Scott is the name of my realtor. And I'm just like, oh, Scott, no. But we got here. It's funny though, a lot of people over the years have come to my house and they're like, damn, you're in the hood. I'm like, oh, this is not that bad.
yeah, yeah.
It's and it's slowly getting nicer.
Mhm.
Like four of the houses on my street have been completely redone since I've been here, and
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
more families have moved in. So
Uh-huh.
it's pretty cool. But anyway, all that to say that this match was lame.
Exactly. Talking about apartments is more interesting to me than
I'll be
QT
honest.
Marshall versus the Costco guys.
I'll be honest. Yeah, I kind of agree. Speaking of, hey, do you remember? Because how old are you, Hakeem?
36?
Oh, okay, yeah, I figured we were in 37. So yeah, we're in the same. What do you remember what your rent was for your first apartment?
Probably maybe around 850.
Okay, yeah. Is that in New York or is that somewhere else?
New York, New York, New York.
Yeah, damn. Um,
That's yeah, but that's more Upper East Side, so not the worst, not the best. It's literally like 15 minutes from the Bronx,
okay. Yeah.
but it's like a bridge in between.
Hey,
So
as long as there's a bridge, right? Um, my first apartment, I shit you not, my because I split it with a roommate. My half of the rent
yeah.
was $295.
Oh, that's really good.
I miss those days.
That is amazing.
I miss those days a lot.
Oh man,
Why are you moving my camera? Why? Why are you this way? Move.
that's because you was talking about moving. So okay.
No, we're not moving, and if I was, you'd be coming with me. Simmer down. No, I don't leave doggos behind. That's why when
One
you
of
have
these
a pit
days,
bull,
I wanted to get a pet, but I don't know. Like I had a cat for like 16 years. He died. I was like, I'm done.
you just can't emotionally handle another one.
No, I just want to like shovel poop again. Like I'm
Oh,
just
well,
tired
fair.
of that. Like I'm done with that.
You know, if there was a walking plant, they'd be perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to feed it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just make sure it has access to a window. It's good.
Honestly, I did like grow vegetables and like herbs and stuff like that. No.
There you go. And this is more interesting than the Costco
Yeah, I
guys.
just don't yeah, yeah.
What did Tony Khan think of it?
Oh.
It was awesome. Thanks, guys. Anyway, so
Anyways,
QT put over the Costco guy.
yeah.
What's next?
Sorry about that. But
No, it's
okay.
all good.
It was the AEW World Tag Team Championship four-way. Oh, it was a four-way. Yeah, yeah. It was Private Party versus the Acclaim and versus Malachi Black and Broly King. Oh, also the Outrunners. I actually like them.
Who are the Outrunners?
Oh, they're like a throwback to the 90s. They're like two Hulk Hogan's.
What? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
That
If you
sounds
watch them,
awesome. Hold on. What the
they're really cool.
Outrunners?
Yeah,
That
they're
this I
like
gotta see.
they're like too many Hulk Hogan's. They're really good and funny. Like I legitimately like them. But I wish they could win, but they replaced the boys from what's this guy? Remember the guy who had the boys and he got
Dalton
fired?
Castle.
Yeah, 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 they replaced them. Like
Oh
so
my
they got
god.
they're really fun.
They're bigger than the boys.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And, yeah, and other things too.
Well, yeah. Okay, I find them acceptable. They can stay.
Honestly, they're like legitimately really good. Cause they stay in character like so much. They're really good.
Imagine that, wrestlers that stay in character. One of them just looks like a young Steiner.
Yep.
Anywho, who won that match?
Oh, Private Party.
Okay. And see, the shame is I liked Private Party way back in the early days of AEW, except for does Isaiah Cassidy still do the stupid thing where he screams like a girl?
Not, I don't think he did in this match, but he did. I think he still does it.
It's so stupid.
It is
It's a wonder I don't
honestly,
drink.
yeah, it's kind of like a turn off. I just hate it. It's
It's
like it
just
takes you out of the match.
yeah, that's what it does because it's so dumb and so pointless and so stupid. Like, I'm sorry, you're supposed to be a tough man and then you scream like a girl who not even like even the female wrestlers don't scream like that. What are
Exactly.
you doing? What anyway.
It
So
was funny the first time when I think it was somebody like choke slam or something like that, but it's just annoying, you know.
I can see the first time. Like, because I think, as a matter of fact, I think the first time I heard it, I laughed because I think he was getting choke slammed by
Big Bill.
No, he did it way before Big Bill got there.
Oh, okay, okay.
God damn it, the other really big.
Oh, Sama Singh or
No,
whatever his name
it,
is.
it way earlier than that. He used to be with Jake Roberts,
Oh, Lance
Lance Archer.
Archer. Yeah,
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 I was like, I'm sorry, that's an acceptable reaction when Lance Archer is choke slamming
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fine. You can do it as long as Lance Archer or Kane are choke slamming you. That wasn't even on purpose. So okay, let's just go ahead and go there.
Yeah,
Um, I've been seeing these things. Is there like this confederation of Kane knockoffs? Is this a thing? What's going
yeah.
on?
It is. It's been a while. Cocaine number one. Honestly, I think cocaine is Tony Khan and mass.
He starts the match. He punches himself in the mask, and then the like Deadpool does in the movie.
They got Gang. That's Gay King.
Okay, hold on. I gotta see this.
There's the yellow one too. Because the pink king got no, it was a candy king or something like that. He got sued or cease and desist letter for I think from WWE. So he turned to yellow. And that didn't work, so it was Cocaine versus the Soul Taker.
Okay, the alternate Kane gimmicks. Let's see. Okay, maybe we have a list. Yeah, a bunch of people were saying they need to get Glenn Jacobs, um, Luke Gallows, and Cocaine together and be like a trios team. That'd be funny as shit.
Oh,
Because for those of
trios,
you who
yeah.
don't know, Luke Gallows was fake Kane back
Yeah,
in
yeah.
WWE.
I didn't know that till way later. But
Yeah, I didn't either. Okay, the Kane variants. Let's see. Okay.
I didn't realize he was Festus also.
Oh god, blue cane, gain,
Oh yeah,
cocaine,
Blue King. Yeah, yeah.
candy cane.
Yeah. It's also a girl king. I think
Oh,
that's
she
Candy.
cane. No, I don't want versions of Kane. I want the all Kane variants. Here we go. Of course, it's on TikTok. Oh, come on. The Kane verse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like I went down like a rabbit hole of kings. I
Diddy
never realized
Kane?
it was a big thing.
Oh, this isn't real. Citizen Kane? No, this isn't real, but this is funny. Spokane?
They asked Glenn Jacobs what he thought about cocaine. And he was like,
I bet he loves it.
well, he had to give like the politically correct answer. Say like, oh, I'm against it because still with
I don't I don't
baseball.
condone it, but
Yeah, yeah,
maybe you should wrestle him,
yeah, yeah.
Kane. Put him down once and for all. That shit is funny.
It really is.
Well, so you could do a tassel wearing and call him Novocaine.
Oh, he shoots people with needles like what Hangman did to Swerve that time.
You Oh God.
Yeah, I know it's kind of sad. It's already been done.
Now I see, like I don't even want to talk about AEW. I just want to come up with more Kane variants. Well, dress Brian Danielson up as Kane, and he can be Spokane because Washington.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then, like you said, obviously have Candy Cane Gain. I want to say Gain. I want to see Gain. That's funny.
Oh, the guy who he fought, it was Gang versus somebody else. They
Gold
spell like
Dust and
Gayne.
E. Yeah.
Yeah, Gang. Oh, also it was like it was another gang. He was like, I'm the original gay king. He was like, you stole my gimmick. It was like a Twitter fight or an X fight.
That's so goddamn.
So,
Well, then you can just have an old man and just call him Kane, but spell it like,
yeah, his
the
only
walking
gimmick is
cane.
he comes up with a walking king.
Yeah. Anyway, what was the next match?
Okay, hurry back to
Because
AEW.
again, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I care more about cocaine than I care about the next match.
I do too. And it's sad because the next match is MJF versus Roderick Strong, which is I don't know. I like them
Okay,
both.
I'll bet you anything. It was a really good match, but it fell flat because there was little to no booking, and what was done was bad, booking wise.
Yeah, it was a slow match. It was like all these holes and rest. Oh, I got you in this hole, rest a little
Well, they're
bit.
both heels, aren't they?
They oh yeah, they are. They are. I think Roger is. I'm not too sure. Or MJF, he keeps switching. I
Well,
don't know. It's just
MJF is
kind of sad.
officially MJF is officially a heel, but he's honestly the biggest baby face in the company, if we're being honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Ever since Cody left.
Hmm.
Well, ever since CM Punk left.
And he's not booked that way. Like now, like the
No, but
MJF of 2024 is nothing compared to
yeah, but
last 2 years ago.
here's the thing, and it's MJF is the rare exception because I'm normally a big proponent of like, listen, if the crowd's cheering somebody, then they're a baby face. If the
Hmm.
crowd's booing somebody, they're a heel. It's regardless of how you book them. MJF is the one rare exception where no matter what you do, you have to book him like a heel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He sucks as a baby face.
Otherwise, the people won't. Well, here's the thing. I bet he could
Hmm.
be an amazing babyface because he's that good. But nobody wants to see that, at least not yet.
Yeah. Honestly, it reminds me of Randy, like
Yeah,
where he's amazing and you want to cheer for him no matter how evil he
but
is.
but
But, but
that's after he's been there for 20
it's
years.
exactly yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like you're gonna get to a point where Randy cannot do anything to get booed. Like he
Exactly.
can't. But man, I was thinking about that the other day. Remember how awesome the Legend Killer gimmick was?
Oh, it was. It was vicious.
It was so awesome and a perfect way for a young talent to get over as a heel.
Hmm.
There's no better way.
Plus, it kind of puts not over, but like it gives the old guys a chance to like put over the new guys and
Exactly.
still have fun.
I really think for MJF, if they want to actually book him as a heel, he needs to do the Legend Killer gimmick, but not with legends, with indie guys.
Yeah, I think yeah they would have to.
He needs to
AEW
go out. He
doesn't
needs to
have
go out there
legends.
and he needs to go out there and stomp and hurt them.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd pay for. I'd watch that.
that would be cool because
Just get
like
out there and just have him like give him a match with Danhausen, right? And just have him
mhm.
knock him out in like less than 2 minutes. And then the ref calls it, and then he still continues beating him. Just let him squash him.
It'll be better than anything he's doing right now. So
I'm telling you, it's
because to
Tony.
me,
Tony.
MJF is good on his own, but he needs like a partner to like compete against, or like some kind of element to
He
compete
needs an
against.
element to compete against, yes. And when he's got a strong element or strong opponent to compete against, it
Yeah.
works because when you have a CM Punk for him to work off of, or a Cody Rhodes, or
Hmm.
even a Kenny Omega, well, when Kenny Omega's controlled,
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
because Kenny would just get out there and be like, the thing about you, MJF, is that you can't escape. Bang. Whenever Kenny Omega does that, yeah, have you seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah, 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 I have. Yeah,
Okay, that scene where Ben Affleck as Holden McNeil gets to reuse the line and he goes, "Smells like
yeah,
somebody shit in their cereal."
yeah,
Bong.
yeah,
Whenever Kenny Omega goes bang, I just hear bong. That's why I don't like it.
yeah, yeah. It was.
So who won that match?
Oh, it was. That was MJF.
I
Pretty
love how
sure it
we don't
was.
care.
Like it was like a week and a half ago, so I kind of forgot. But yeah, it was
It's like nobody
MJF.
cares.
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
that's good at least. At least they didn't bury MJF. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I gotta let my dog out. Would you continue
Sure,
regaling the viewers with the events of AEW?
sure. We could move on to the AEW TBS Championship. Oh,
The Young
I
Bucks
forgot.
won.
Yeah, I forgot. At the end, it was what's his name? Kyle or Rowley came out.
Oh, okay.
So like, it's giving him something. Haven't seen him in like a while.
You know, couldn't give him a match or anything.
Yeah, I don't think they ever going to do like the Undisputed Era again.
Well, they can't
'Cause-
because Bobby Fish left.
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I mean, I suppose they could do a version of it,
yeah, it was
but
three guys.
I just wish AEW would, for once, do something fresh and new. Because think about this. Barring some stuff in early AEW, which I'll be honest, probably wasn't new. It was just that nobody had ever seen these people before. They were all probably
Right.
rehashing stuff they'd been doing on the indies. But think about it. Everything AEW has done has been old news, like the Young Bucks, the Elite. That was all done on the indies. I bet you
Right.
anything that Private Party's gimmick didn't change at all. Every time they bring somebody in from WWE, it's the same stuff they were doing in WWE or TNA that they weren't allowed to do in WWE in the case of, Matt Hardy.
Uh-huh.
Like Thunder Rosa, well, no, she was doing pretty much the same shtick she was doing in NWA from what I understand.
Yeah, I didn't see her much in NWA, but for what I saw, it was pretty much same.
I mean, that's who the character is. I think the one exception to that might be Britt Baker, who just kind of became her own person in AEW, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just do something new. Like come up with an original idea every now and again.
I think they can't like they. Oh, they are doing new things. Is that there's not good. It's like
Fair enough.
there's. It's like it doesn't work.
Yeah, like pairing Julia Hart with the House of Black. Why? She was a fucking cheerleader. She was a literal
Yeah,
cheerleader.
yeah,
This
yeah,
makes
yeah.
no sense. She just wanted to do a goth angle. I guarantee you she just came up to Tony and was like, I kind of want to do a goth angle. Okay, you can do whatever you want, even though it doesn't make any sense. And even though it's ruining the tag team of two guys that we were kind of slowly building up as a unit. And I'm sorry, Griff Garrison.
Oh yeah.
Stop doing the TikTok dance videos, dude.
I
Stop
think
it.
he's in ROH now. Last time I saw it.
Quit doing the TikTok dance videos. Because when you do that, I don't buy you as a competitive wrestler. Now, maybe that's sexist.
No, no, no. It's true because like even honestly, even when he was with oh my god, the
Brian
other
Pillman
guy,
Jr.
yeah, 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 with him like to me it felt like a Jack Perry 2.0
Well, I mean,
Jungle
here's
Boy.
the thing though, and this is another problem with AEW. They made that joke on air.
Oh, okay.
It's like, don't shit on your own product. Okay, she wants back in. Come on, I understand. Oh yeah, but yeah, so they were making that joke on air,
Uh,
and it's like, okay, so way to bury at least one of your, you know, wrestlers that you're paying money to be on your television show.
they do that a lot,
Yes, they
you know.
do. Yes, they do, and I don't understand it.
And
Uh, wait, what were we talking about? What match was
oh yeah,
this?
okay. It was MJF, Robert
Oh yeah,
Strong,
yeah, and MJF won, so
MJF won
that's good at
submission.
least.
Yeah.
All right.
And the next one is the AEW TBS Championship. This is Mercedes versus Chris.
Oh yeah, I heard about this one. I heard that Chris was good, and I heard that Mercedes stunk, and that for some reason Mercedes won.
Yeah, honestly, they both were okay for what it was. It's just that Mercedes or Sasha Banks just just isn't that good in AEW. She
See,
really
I
isn't.
this is wild to me because I was a massive Sasha Banks fan. I mean, still am. I just
Uh,
haven't seen her. I've seen this person that looks just like her,
yeah,
um, but
she
is
cares
not
more
her.
about her wigs than anything now. Like it's all about the wigs. Like I remember one match, her wig kept like falling off. She kept holding it.
Oh, yeah, I heard Jim Cornette talking about that.
Like, yeah, it was horrible.
This is horrible. What changed? Actually, I know what changed. What changed is she went to two places where they basically told her you can do whatever you want. Whereas in WWE, they were like, you do it this way because we know it's going to work. And we know what your strengths are, and we're going to play to those. And we're going to keep working on the weaknesses behind the scenes. Like her runs in NXT were phenomenal.
They were. They were. It has to be that because
I mean, it's
think about her
demonstrably true.
versus Charlotte. How many
Or her feud with Becky, while it was
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
short, but it was good.
Hmm.
And that match, that last match they had, that to me, I was already a fan of Becky Lynch, but that to me showed me at the end of that match, I was like, oh, Becky can be a main eventer.
Yeah.
Like that's what showed me. I was like, okay, I'm I'm on board with both of them,
Hmm.
hardcore. And when they got called up, I was like, they'll be fine. And then isn't that wild though? Because back when they were all in NXT, like Charlotte was the clear gonna be like a world champion someday, and she was, but
Of course, yeah.
Becky and Bailey were like lower totem pole of the four, and they've arguably blown up more than the other two.
I would say this. I would say Bailey was like I don't know. To me, she wasn't low, but she had her own thing where she
Maybe
was like,
that's a better
yeah.
way. I'm talking about perception, obviously, because they're
Oh
all
yeah,
really
absolutely.
good.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah,
demonstrably really good. But
yeah,
just for perception.
yeah. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah,
And it was funny when she
but
first got rid of the side ponytail, I was like, no, Bailey. But then I'm like, yeah, she kind of had to do that, didn't she?
I absolutely love that. Like when she turned hill and
Yeah.
she like pop her balloons or whatever. Like I love that. Like finally,
It was
she's
a
not
jarring
60
moment.
years old.
It was. It was a jarring moment.
Yeah, she did
Oh,
so much. It was like comparing her like to the next John Cena, not for like wrestling wise,
other
but
reasons.
yeah, yeah, because the merch sells, the
Yeah.
colors, and like the kids like never give up. You know, all that crap.
And now she's like, you're stupid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, but I mean, I miss that old NXT.
Oh, I did too. It
I
was
miss the old black
priceless.
and gold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so what's the next match?
Okay. All right. The next one was a grudge match. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page.
A grudge match for what?
I I think I'm not too sure, but I
Did Jay
think
White make fun of his mustache?
honestly that would have been better. That would have been a step up.
back when we did my friends and I we did a show called Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up on the internet in the early days of streaming.
Mhm.
And I thought it would be really, really funny to do a pay-per-view that was free. And the whole thing was a comedy. And
Uh-huh.
like one of the matches was there was Hot Stuff Joey Holmes was one of the hosts. And one of the matches that we made for the pay-per-view was him versus Batista, all because we did a gag where for weeks he was advertising an exclusive interview with Batista, the real
Uh-huh.
Batista, and we were like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
the real Batista. We're like, we're not playing. And then obviously, when it comes around, the real Batista doesn't show up. So he's mad about it. So he takes an action figure, interviews the action figure, and then proceeds to beat up the action figure. Well, in story, he challenges Batista to a match at our pay per view because he knows he's not going to show up. Well, in story, Batista shows up and beats the living crap out of him. But the thing
That
is,
sounds awesome.
that storyline, there was another match that was between our two interns to decide who gets to keep their job. Except
Uh-huh.
one of them didn't want his job. So the stipulation was that if he lost, he had to stay.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one, like this is my point is these were all incredibly stupid reasons to have matches, and yet they make more sense than what's happening
Yeah,
in AEW. Like
yeah.
the other guy, Nick Name, and I had a match over who got to do the ECW segment because this is back when WWE's ECW was still on TV.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it was all incredibly stupid, and yet it made more sense than this. Which I have to show that video one day. I take a pretty decent pan shot to the head to set up that angle.
I want to see that.
Well, no, and the funny thing, this is when I realized I was like, oh, if you get the right thing, this doesn't hurt at all. Like I'll take 100 of those pan shots, and they
Uh-huh.
sound incredible. They look devastating. I could take 1,000 in a row. It does not hurt at all.
Yeah, me and my friends used to do stuff like that in school.
Yeah. Well, but and here's another. So it's Nick Name, and he named the pan. Would you like to know what he named the pan?
Mr. Pan. I
Peter.
was gonna. Oh, oh. That's awesome. That is awesome.
I do have all those episodes. I could be tempted to upload them here. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see those. A lot of them are going to get, I don't think they'll get copyright stricken, but we'd never be able to monetize them because we used pirated music. You could get away with that in those
Oh, okay.
days.
Yeah, of
But
course.
yeah, the opening theme to that pay-per-view is how many people want to kick some ass. I'm proud of it. It was good. We used for the matches we used WWE TK, oh no, WWE was it I think it was Raw versus SmackDown 2004 with the Create a
Okay.
Wrestler.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I started playing in
surprise, su
2006.
surprisingly good.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I still have 2006 and 2007.
I mean, the thing is, like the created characters actually looked like us, obviously video game form, but they looked like
Yeah.
us.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I just remembered. There's a lot of. Nah, I'll believe it. Yeah, let us know in the
Okay.
comments if you want to see. Let us know in the comments if you want to see those videos. I'll upload them if you guys want them. It'll be a nice little trip down memory lane. Maybe we'll just release them weekly. Like
That'd
go
be
back
cool.
in time, like because God, if kids are watching those today, they're not going to know what the fuck is going on because we're talking about stuff that was literally in 2007, 2006, 2007.
Okay.
So
Trying to think where
it
was
was
I?
fun. Our running gag back then when we were talking about TNA was that nothing happened.
I think I was still watching during that time. I was playing the games, but I wasn't really watching
Yeah.
as much.
I
But
mean,
I was.
there's names that you'll recognize, and season
Yeah. Uh-huh.
two is actually my favorite because that's when we just lean hardcore into the more skit elements of it all.
Uh-huh.
Like it becomes a comedy by episode three because the first two episodes are so bad. It's just us sitting there talking about wrestling like we're newscasters, and we're like, and then John Cena pinned him is so bad, and we're watching. We're like, this is painful. We gotta make this funny somehow.
uh,
And then it was episode three or four. I can't remember which one. I think it was episode four because we kind of sowed the seeds of comedy in episode three. But then in episode four, we opened the show. Remember at the beginning of all the WWE DVDs, they'd have the "Don't try this at home" segment.
yeah, I remember.
So I took the audio from that and then put a bunch of black and white footage of us getting quote unquote injured, and it ends with Nick sack tapping Joe, and then it snaps back into color and does the "Please don't try this at home." And the minute I finished that segment, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a comedy. This is a comedy.
Yeah,
There's no way this can be serious."
you should definitely upload them.
I
Or at
if
least
I get one comment, I will do that.
all right, I'm gonna make another account.
It means it keeps revealing. Make another one. That being said, what's the next match
Oh, it was Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
on a pay
Yeah,
per view?
yeah, yeah.
Why?
Well, well, I guess Kyle turned kind of heel. He shaved his head and he got like
Oh,
20 pounds of muscle. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
oh! He
Yeah,
shaved his head. He's a bad guy now.
he looks completely different.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah. He legitimately looks like a wrestler now. Before, not so much. But
Just think about what you just said. He looks like a wrestler now.
yeah. Yeah, because like okay, before he was like doing the flips and dives and
Hey,
that kind of
kudos,
look. But like
kudos to Kyle
now he
Fletcher.
yeah, he looks legitimately like you could tell he's gonna be somebody.
Yeah, there was a moment that Will Ospreay went through that. Although Will Ospreay's always kind of been a bit of a freak of nature, but when he packed
Mhm.
on some size and was
Yeah.
still doing that stuff, it was like, oh, okay, got it.
Honestly, that's how it feels with Kyle. It's like he did whatever Will did or took whatever Will took. And
All right, bro, if you gonna set me up with that human growth homo,
yeah, bro.
sure, bro. Right here, just stick it right in your fanny. Actually, I'm given to understand that fanny doesn't mean butt in like the British vernacular.
Yeah, yeah. I always thought it did.
So stick it in your bum. See, that has a different connotation. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't live in the UK. Just inject it. Just shut up, inject it, and go lift. Anyway, so I'm assuming Osprey won that match.
No, Kyle did.
Really? Okay, color me
Yeah.
surprised.
It was a good match. It was a good match and probably one of my favorites on the pay-per-view. It's the problem with this match is they're like both superhuman beings that can take, I don't know, chair shots
Oh,
or
does it do the usual Will Osprey match where they have two matches in one?
absolutely. It was so many false finishers. Like any like move they did could have been a finish.
I and see that's a thing that AEW does where they overdo the finish where they have a perfect finish and then they go for like another minute or two and then have kind of a mediocre finish. But Will Osprey, if I have one complaint about Will Osprey, which I'm a Will Osprey fan, is that he does that. There are way too many false finishes to the point where it's obviously cooperative because nobody could take that kind of punishment and walk away.
He had Kyle on the ring post, like no Samoa Joe does his like ring buster bomb.
Yeah.
You have him like that and kick him square in the head. It's like, and they still continue for about another like 15 minutes. Like you just kick this guy in the head. Like he's done.
as someone who's been kicked in the head, I can tell you it doesn't take that much. It really doesn't. It's kind of scary how easy it is to get your shit rocked legitimately.
It's so weird though, because it's like they throwing like everything out there for the pay-per-view. Like every move they ever learned, they want to do it there. And still make
I'd
it
be
seem like it's
interested.
real.
See, I'd be interested, and I feel like because what was the move that Will Ospreay was like, I can't use it, can't use it, it's too dangerous, so I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
retire
yeah, I
it.
remember. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I
retire
forgot.
it.
Yeah.
I want to see. See, that could have been a really, really good story. Actually, I can't take full credit for this. I was thinking the same thing, but Cornette laid it out really well.
Uh-huh.
How it could culminate. I believe it was Adam Cole that he was in a rivalry with, or he was in a rivalry with someone.
Uh-huh.
And that being said, it's like, yeah, so you have him be in a very important match that matters with somebody that he actually likes, though. But it's a big deal title match, and he uses that move on him, and it puts him in the hospital. He almost dies in storyline, right?
Mhm.
But it's a legitimately good move, so like it's believable. And the thing is,
Uh-huh.
everybody's got to play this straight. Like Will Ospreay has to be legitimately distraught. Like he almost killed his friend. He's lucky that his friend's still alive, right? And you play on this for a year, and you tease it every time Will Ospreay has a big match. You tease it where he thinks about pulling it out, but then he remembers his friend. Blah 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 whatever. And
Yeah.
then you get him in a program with like an MJF, and MJF just pushes him, pushes him, pushes him, and then finally, in that moment, Will Ospreay lays him out with that move to win the match and the title.
That'll be really good.
That's
It's been done before, like in
I
movies.
know. I
It works.
it's been done before in wrestling.
Yeah,
Like Jesus Christ, there's nothing new under the sun, but good shit is good shit.
exactly.
Like, oh my God, this is not hard. It's hard to do all of it together.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about a single storyline, it's so comically easy to book it. It's not easy to do in the ring. That's where the wrestler comes in.
Hmm.
But the booking of it all, it's so simple. Just keep it simple.
It's like I said, it was a great match. Like
I
they're
bet, and
both
now I
phenomenal
want to watch it.
wrestlers. Honestly, if you watched anything on this pay-per-view, just watch that. And also the women's match with Mercedes and Chris. It was
Really, it was
okay.
good. Well, I mean, Chris has always
Chris
been. It's
is
just
good.
every time. Does she still do the torture rack finisher?
Did she do it? No, no. I don't think she did that one.
She does something else now.
Yeah. I
That's
forgot what she
good.
did, but
That's good because every time she did it, and knowing that she has a history of knee injuries, every time she did it, I was just like, ugh.
she did some move like on the apron out like towards the outside and like landed on her knees and like
Mm,
it's like man we just got both of them replaced or
I
something.
know,
So
just
it's like it looks
every
like it
time.
hurts.
And it's because I've injured both knees, but every time I see somebody do a like Zelina Vega especially, every
Oh
time I
yeah.
see somebody do a Meteora, I'm just like, ugh. Which in reality is probably the safest position to land on your knees, but still, that's a lot of pressure.
Nah, if I
Ugh.
do that I'm down for like a week.
Shit, I do that on accident. I watched
I'm
that
not
one.
getting back up.
Yeah, I watched that one women's match in New Japan where she did a Meteora from the top rope to the floor,
Oh,
and I was just like, "Oh God, oh, sicken me." Ah, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to check that match out. What else we got?
all right. After that it was oh, yeah, it
Over.
was Daniel. You know, it for me it was. It was. I
And then I fell asleep.
legitimate. I did. I took a nap for
Well,
the
God,
next 2 minutes.
it was probably midnight by now, wasn't it?
I think it was like 11 something.
It
But,
was late.
but it was Daniel Garcia versus Jack Perry.
Okay, so I actually heard this match was good.
It was
Yeah. So
it, it was good. Just kind of didn't go nowhere. It was like
But
Oh no,
didn't who it was for the TNT
uh,
title, was it not?
it was.
And did Perry lose it?
No, no, no.
Oh, he's
Jack
still.
won. Jack won.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I feel
I
like that's what Daniel Garcia I feel like Daniel Garcia just needs a good, solid title run, and then he'll be fine.
I think he needs like a new personality.
Well, I
It's,
mean that would go with the title.
oh, okay, it's included. Okay.
No, but honestly, here's how you fix him. You have him go through, and see, this is going to sound really, really counterintuitive, but hear me out, people, because this is long-term storytelling. You have him go through a bit of a losing streak, but not losing to losers, losing to like legitimate competitors.
Yeah, yeah,
But he just has the yips, right?
yeah.
Let's say you can even do this now. Let's say because he loses to Jack, he's got the yips now. So he just keeps losing, and then he's got to go honestly, if which I did read, Ring of Honor is negotiating a TV deal with True TV.
That's cool.
Yeah, so as long I just want him on TV.
Actually, that's really good. Like True TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Throwing Strawberry Wash on his Impractical Jokers.
Hey, fair enough. Hey,
This is really
it's
good.
yeah, it's a thing. Um, but actually, and this will only I would only do this if we had a TV deal for Ring of Honor, is have him lose enough matches, like not too many, but then you have him lose to somebody that is clearly again not a loser, but somebody that he should be able to beat, no problem. And then just have him have a moment where he's like, I don't know what's wrong. Does he have a mentor figure right now at all, or is he solo?
No, for what I saw, it's just him on his own.
What's Brian Danielson doing right now?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, hear me out. So you have Daniel in the locker room, not crying, but just like, I don't know what's wrong. Have Brian come up to him and be like,
I would
hey,
have him crying.
I mean,
Just a
maybe,
little, just a
maybe,
little
hey, maybe,
bit.
but have Brian come up to him and be like, hey, I have been exactly where you were. Here's what you got to do. Have Brian mentor him, have him, do vignettes of them and not like the funny shit they were doing with the
Yeah, the dancing.
Blackpool combat, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Have them do like legitimate training vignettes and then be like, okay, you're going to go to Ring of Honor. You're going to start you're going to start from the beginning. You're going to go there. You're going to prove yourself. Have him win. I don't know what the mid card is. It still the ROH television title?
I have no idea. I'm
Something. Okay.
sorry.
Whatever. Just have him and then is Brian I don't know if Brian's able to wrestle.
That I'm clear. I don't think he's really clear, to be honest. Since the
Okay.
last time he
Because
had a
I have two parts to this plan. And assuming he
match.
is clear to wrestle, they do a run for the ROH tag team titles together.
That
You
would
know,
work because honestly, I thought that they was doing something similar to that from the beginning. Like
well,
when,
because I see a lot of
yeah,
Daniel Garcia reminds me of a less charismatic, younger Brian Danielson circa 2004.
I can see that.
They're very similar in
Hmm.
their overall look, not necessarily their style, but Daniel Garcia can learn.
Yeah,
He's still young. He's still so young.
yeah.
So you could make him, and I mean, God, that storyline can go on for a year minimum. And you turn him into a legit wrestler on TV. I'm not saying he's not legit. I just mean his character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then it can culminate all the way up to an AEW world title run like 2 years later. And it all goes back to that moment when Brian Danielson said,
Oh no, I was wrong. No, my bad. I was wrong. It was Daniel Garcia. He did win.
oh, well, never mind. My
He,
whole plan goes out the
yeah, he did
window.
win the TNT. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He
damn
won
it.
it.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
My idea was better.
No, but honestly, your idea is still better because okay, he won it, but he's still acting the same way. So
What's it going to do with it?
exactly. Or how long he's going to keep it before it gets hot potato to someone else.
Well, and honestly, Brian Danielson could have a real backstage heart to heart with him and being like, hey, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Here's what your problem was is you got on the big stage too early and you got in with the wrong crowd and you were too concerned with, dancing and thrusting your pelvis in people's faces rather than wrestling. But the good news is you're still young. You can fix this. Jericho can't fix this. And sadly, Jericho can. He just doesn't want to for some reason. But yeah.
I think Jericho kind of like gave up.
Oh, I don't think he gave up. I think he's milking it. And I don't blame him.
That's true.
I don't blame him one bit. That's just what's so frustrating because when Jericho's good, Jericho's incredible.
Yeah. Think
And when
about with
Jericho,
him and Cody, that match or that rivalry between the two groups, that was really good.
it was really good.
He busted the glass with MJF's tie or scarf. That was really good. I liked that. Like, oh yeah, this is AEW. Like,
Anyway. So Daniel Garcia is the TNT champion. Maybe he
yeah,
can lose the TNT championship. They can still do my idea. It's just he can lose it to somebody stupid.
cheeseburger.
There you go.
I don't know
Lose it to
why.
Cheeseburger.
So I'm like, fight Bobby. And I was like, oh wow, that is a pain. Why don't they
Yeah.
put Bobby Lashley versus Cheeseburger for what reason? Like,
Was that the next match?
no, 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 no. That was
Oh,
on like a Dynamite or some other garbage show, Rampage or something. The next match was Ricochet versus who was it? I actually skipped this one. It was Ricochet versus uh take a shit. What was it?
shit. Okay, so actually, I bet that was decent. Can you say take a shit?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Takashi.
Uh, Inosuke Takeshita,
Okay, close enough.
or as better known as, can you say take a shit?
um, it was a good match.
Yeah, I
For
bet. I bet. 'Cause I like Takeshita. It's just fun to.
oh yeah, he's legitimate. He has grown so much compared to when I first saw him. I really like him a lot.
Yeah, no,
Rick
I don't dislike him at all.
to me, Ricochet is more of the same. Like if you hate him in WWE, it's really not much difference what he's doing now.
No, he's just allowed to go out there and do what he wants.
Yeah, it's not, but it's not even like it's turned up or
He's
anything.
doing the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's legitimate the same Ricochet.
Well, I believe he may have been. I'm because I'm not saying he was making mistakes, but I believe he was well coached in NXT
Mhm.
and even on the main roster. Because I'm sure all the veterans are like, "Hey, man, you can do stuff that nobody on earth can do. That means you don't need to do it every night. Bust
Yeah,
it out, bust it
I
out when it
uh-huh.
matters."
I understand why he left because he was being like treated as
I
a
get it.
jobber, but still, I would took this opportunity to like change this a little bit, like less flips, and besides the flips, it's more like impactful. Like I don't know, he's
I
like
mean,
this.
the thing is, he looks like that. A kick from him or a punch from him is not it's not weak. And then the fact that he can put that
Mhm.
kick behind a somersault is like it's kind of like
Yeah,
RVD. Like when RVD did
yeah, yeah.
flips, you felt it. And somehow Darby Allin does this weighing significantly less than the other two. But
Hmm.
it's impactful. It's less gymnasty. Although and Ricochet's gotten better over the years with making that look more impactful and less
Yeah.
cooperative. But it's good looking stuff.
It really is. Like I remember, like I hated the frog splash. I know Eddie did it, but I really disliked that move. But I liked it when Rob did
Yeah, because it looks like he
it.
killed the guy.
Yeah. Didn't he like hurt Triple H one time? Like
I'm
he broke
sure he did.
his I think he did it off like the first chamber elimination chamber match. And I
Oh,
think he hurt Triple H. I think
Oh,
that was him.
I'm sure he heard something.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's the thing is like even today, Rob Van Dam when he does stuff, it looks like it hurts. And the thing is,
mhm,
like let's be honest, the Van Daminator actually takes less. It's safer than just taking a kick, but
mhm,
it looks absolutely devastating. So I would much rather quote unquote take a kick through a chair like as a barrier because
absolutely.
it helps you hide it. It's a marvelous tool.
It really is.
It's lovely, but it looks rough. It looks absolutely devastating.
I think that's what AEW needs because I think a lot of the wrestlers they are not preserving their bodies. I
No,
don't think half of them are going to be walking in the next like 20 years plus.
they just need somebody to come in. I'm sure Dustin has tried. It's just that I'm sure
Probably.
nobody's listening because he's probably like, "Hey, I get it. Dives look cool. Why are you doing it here? If you can explain to me why, then you can do it." It just
Hmm.
why?
Yeah, it's like I give you a good example, like Swerve. He does dives and flips, but he doesn't do it every match, and he knows
No,
how to change it up.
and when
Depends
he
on his
does it,
opponent.
and when he does it, it matters.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I can think of so many examples, but well, like Lita's moonsault.
Okay, yeah,
You know, it's she didn't do it every match. I mean, well, it was her finisher, wasn't it? Something
yeah. It
like
was.
that. I can't. Yeah,
Wasn't the Swanton was her finish?
she did for a while, but then she changed it up to a moonsault later at some
Okay.
point. But yeah, the swanton is like the swanton's a better finisher than a moonsault just because it's safer
Yeah,
for the
and it
person
looks
doing
more
it.
fun.
It's different. It's different looking. But yeah, I'm trying to think of another really good example. Well, like remember Cody did one moonsault off a cage, and I thought he was gonna die.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think he did it that way to show the rest of the locker room. See, I've
yeah.
done that once, and it mattered more than any of your moonsaults in the past 5 years. And it
That's true.
looked comparatively, it looked like shit. I'm not knocking it because I can't do it. I'm just saying, like compared to a lot of the more gymnasty moonsaults, it looked real dirty.
Yeah,
And I don't think he would take offense to that. He'd probably feel like, yeah, I did slip a little to the left there.
yeah.
But
Well, like it's not in like you wouldn't know him as to do that, you know. So just him able to do it and walk away from it is accomplished enough.
yeah, absolutely. So wait, what match were we talking about? Ricochet.
Yeah,
And did
Ricochet.
Ricochet win?
No, no. Takesha won. The was it? It's not the United States belt. It's like the All Atlantic 24/7 belt.
Oh, it's I think it's international.
Yeah,
The All
yeah,
Atlantic 24/7 international title.
yeah. Route 66. Yeah,
So okay, so there's not to
it's a
get off
nice
track
looking
again,
belt.
but you'll it's the shame. It is a really nice looking belt. I like it.
Mhm.
Um, so you'll appreciate this because this actually has to do with when they first debuted that championship. For those of you who don't remember, it was the All Atlantic Championship, but
Yeah.
one of the flags and like three of the people who were vying for it in the first match were from Japan, and one of the flags is the Japanese flag, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't touch the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. It's not a part of it.
It's not a part
You
of
didn't
the
realize it.
Atlantic Ocean, like not even relatively.
They
It's like
didn't proofread it.
this is the stupidest championship I've ever seen. That being said, though, when I was in Gatlinburg for Thanksgiving, I walked by a store window, and there was a shirt. It was like a drawing of Donald Trump, like this in front of the White House with a Santa hat,
Yeah.
and underneath it it said, "I'll be home for Christmas."
Uh-huh.
And I looked at it and I said, "No, you won't." It bothered me all night, Hakeem. I was like, no, you won't. You're not president until January 20th. You will not be home for Christmas. Except ironically, you will be because you'll be in Mar-a-Lago, not at the White House. But
Yeah, there's like
no. And the thing is, I know there's like 50 people walking around with that shirt on being like, yeah, we'll be home for Christmas. It's like, no, you won't. This is stupid. Anyway, and I'm like, I shouldn't care. I shouldn't care, but I do care. It bothers me.
it's the little things like that that matter.
It's a little thing. When I saw the Japanese flag on that belt, I'm just like, no. And then when they renamed it international, I'm like, oh, they watched the show. I see. Or read, the couple hundred people on Reddit or Twitter that were like, Japan's not in the Atlantic Ocean, stupid.
Oh, oops. I just thought it would be cool.
Whoops. Well, I'm going to take a brief moment to tell everybody about our friends. If you find your AEW pay per view boring and you're really mad and you're a fan of music, check out one of our podcasts on the network, Leading the Band, where three musicians in the industry tell you about the behind the scenes aspects of being in the music industry. You learn a lot of really cool stuff in there. For example, Rachel Black of the band Valena, who we love dearly, goes on a pretty much a 20-minute lesson on other ways other than like mainstream success where you can make money in the music industry, which she does regularly to pay the bills, and then her band is just gravy on top. So
That's
it's an informative podcast. It's not really a super duper fun one, not like this.
cool.
It's a different vibe over on leading the band, but and then there's also Virus Fox of the band Again and Forever and Meg Star, internet rap sensation, and it's a really cool podcast. It's very informative. So I'm
Yeah, that's why
sorry,
I like
dude.
those.
I'm
No,
sorry, dude. When if you weren't wearing that beanie, it would look like you had Tony Khan's hair, and it's wild.
yeah. Yeah.
Can't help but notice the neck brace is long gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about
That's the
that.
only worst thing you could do other than putting on the neck brace is to take it off now. You've
That'd be
made your bed,
so
lie in it.
sad. Like, okay, Vince did it, but Vince like when he did it, it looked not as nerdy.
Well, here's the difference though. Well, there's two differences. One, Vince committed to the bit and he did not
Yeah,
care what anybody said. Tony Khan books for Twitter. And
he
when
does,
Twitter
sir.
and well, here's why I say Twitter. So Tony Khan books for Twitter, and then when they say something stupid, he goes, "Oh, well, we have to change it right now." And Vince at least understood that once you start down a path, even if you're wrong, like you might be able to cut it short to make it make sense in storyline, but once you go down a path, you can't just abandon it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? That's the only thing worse than a bad storyline is just
Mhm.
abruptly ending a bad storyline for no reason. And then the other difference is like Vince also understands that his audience doesn't actually think this shit is real.
Sorry, not there about when you said that. Eric Rowan when he had like the spire in the cage.
Oh my god.
So that was a pretty bad storyline, and he committed to that.
Yeah. But see, it would be different if Tony Khan showed up on TV in a neck brace. He
Yeah,
showed up to the NFL draft, and
yeah,
everyone there was making fun of him. I guarantee you, I will bet money on this.
absolutely, absolutely. It was like, where's this clown doing?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure everybody was like, he knows wrestling's fake, right?
yeah,
And the thing is, when he does things like that, it makes the wrestling business look bad.
absolutely. It puts it down. Like, okay, wrestling's already like put down
It's
as low as it
already
could
it's
be.
already cartoony on AEW, right? And then for
Yeah,
him to show up like that, that's like you showing up to a board meeting at your job just like Macho Man. I,
it's kind of cool.
I mean, it's funny, but
Give up Slim Jims.
no, just get in there's like just get in there and be like, let me tell you how we're gonna do this, yeah. I'm seeing a rise in revenue, yeah. And here's the thing, brother. If you want to make that keep going, you're gonna have to embrace the mega powers. Yeah.
I
And then your boss
legitimately
will
love to
prompt,
work there.
and then you, I would too. And then your boss is gonna look at you and be like, "Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're fired.
But that doesn't work
Get
for
your,
me.
get your shit and get out." And then as you're walking out of the building, he just looks at you, "Hey, Hulk Hogan sucks." And then he just says the Ultimate Warrior pose. That or you work for Jesse Ventura and you're an idiot. It's just, I'm not gonna take any of this in my office. Oh god, how many more matches do we have on this pay per view?
Oh God. Okay, it was only two.
Only seven more.
Yeah, only two. The next one is Bobby or Bob
Bama, Bobby.
versus versus Swerve.
They put Bobby versus Swerve Strickland already.
Yeah, yeah. They had like a run-in on Dynamite.
Of course they did.
And so yeah, it was like the Hurt Business or the Hurt
Imagine that a
Syndicate.
run in. Yeah, the Hearst Syndicate.
Yeah, can't say
Why don't
that.
they just call it the Ouch Business?
Remember there was the Pride. Oh, I just thought about something. They could have
No, I
Bobby
think that's why they
Gain.
changed it. Bobby and Gain. My mind went there too. Yeah, that's right. Remember how quickly that name changed? Because everybody said the same thing. It's like it's a bunch of sweaty, muscular dudes all together. This is not what you think it is. Nobody's thinking lions here.
Oh, there's like they need like a Indian cowboy.
Come out to YMCA. They'll just come out going like this.
Oh man.
Billy Gunn can be their manager.
Oh, with what is it, Chuck?
Chuck
Yeah,
Palumbo.
Billy Chuck. I love that song. I legitimately have it on my phone. I work out to it.
Oh my god.
Motivation.
Run faster. Oh my god. Yeah,
Before that,
I do remember when they first came out as the Pride, and I was like, ooh,
yeah, it's like
should have workshopped that one. I can't I can't believe I gotta believe that at least one of them went to the group and was like, "Hey, does anybody else see anything wrong with this name?" And then they went to Vince and he was like, "No, it's like lions.
yeah.
You're like a bunch of lions." Just,
Oh man.
anyway, so who won?
uh Bobby.
See, that sucks because it kind of makes Swerve look bad. I think that was a little too early.
It like I understand why he won because
Yeah, no, I
he's
understand why
the
he won for sure, but against Swerve, that's my issue.
the thing is the way he won was like he put on the hurt lock and Swerve just like fell out.
He fell asleep.
Yeah, honestly, that's like the second time it did to Swerve. The first one was with Hangman where he like shot him with Novocaine in the lip and then knock him out that way. Like,
Wait, what?
yeah, that time when wasn't it Hangman? Yeah, he took like a kneel and like put it through his lip and then it supposed to been Novocaine or something to knock him out and Swerve.
Well,
That was
it couldn't have been Novocaine. Novocaine doesn't put you to
oh yeah,
sleep.
it numbs you. Yeah, yeah. Something
Although
was.
it's AEW, so maybe maybe they were like, "Oh my God, Excalibur, the Novocaine shot. He's going to sleep." And I would just my JR be like, "Novocaine has put you to sleep, but the Hurt Lock will."
This pay-per-view put me to sleep.
No, JR's already sleeping. Oh, what? Yeah,
I'll get here.
who are you? I can't tell who you are with that mask on. I'm just waiting one of these days. Excalibur. It's gonna come out that Excalibur is like. I know that he's a real person, but it's like Excalibur's just gonna take the mask off one day and it'd be Vince McMahon the whole time.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
That'd be
Honestly,
great.
that's the only way they'll save Excalibur. Like,
Honestly, yeah.
they're like, oh, it was me. It
It
was
was me. I started pro wrestling career. It was me the whole time. And then what was our main event?
oh yeah, that was like a waste of time. It was, I'm pretty sure it was like Mox versus oh god, the guy with the pockets. Um, uh, uh,
Pockets.
yeah, yeah,
Orange
Orange
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Oh
like,
God. Was this for the AEW title?
was it- I didn't even watch that part. After I saw who it was, I left. I think it might have been.
Who even is the AEW champ? It's got to be Moxley, right?
Honestly, don't know. That's how sad it is. Like, I really don't know who their champ is. I know he's in the new like Death Rider group with
Yeah, I
Maria
saw
Schaefer,
Marina Shafir and
Shafir, and I believe it's just the BBC. Uh,
the B.
Casanoli and
Yeah, Moxley is the AEW World Champion.
yeah, yeah. It's just so bad. The Death Riders. Yeah, yeah, it was for the AEW World Champ.
Yeah, the Death Riders. What? I
Like,
can't hear you. My motorcycle's too loud.
honestly, that would have been better. It's just Orange Cassidy is just not a wrestler. Not. It's like having Danhausen versus John Moxley.
Rah.
I also have rather see that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was like,
this is
oh no, he's wearing black pants,
oh, this is
so he must be.
interesting. This is interesting. So, CM Punk is still listed on the history of the AEW title.
oh,
Wow,
he is. Oh,
wow, their website is fucking up something fierce. But yeah, John Moxley is the AEW champion.
yeah.
Um, I don't know what what's going on between Moxley and Tony Khan, but Moxley seems to be like the new I think Moxley somehow, some way, they're acting like he's got some kind of stake in the company somehow, some way. Because
Oh
he's
yeah,
like he's
like they hinted like he knows Shane's coming back or something like that, or
yeah.
Shane's gonna come and take over. Honestly, that's the only way this is worth it.
They've got to be because that'll turn Tony Khan babyface. Is somehow, some way they wrestle the company away from him, and then you can have a legitimate like Team AEW
Hmm.
versus the new corporate overlords or something.
Like honestly, the ending of this match was pretty good. Not between Mox and Cassie, but what happened afterwards. It was came in, came out, and then it was face off, and then oh
And
god,
Hangman's mouth was still numb, so he's like, "Let me tell you again, you mug."
pretty much, pretty much was that. But also, what's this guy?
Let's get
Edge
that.
friend. What's his,
Christian
yeah,
Cage.
Kristen. Yeah, Kristen Cage came out and like did kill switch on Moxley.
And you, me and Quincy, keep your hand. And as soon as you know can't wear your, you're fucking done. See, that would have been more entertaining.
It would have.
Cause I'm Heyman MP, and I'm a cowboy. Oh, so is that it for Full Gear? Again for Full Gear.
I think yeah, I think so. That's what I was gonna say. I don't think I want to like watch another AEW pay-per-view again.
Not for a while. We're, we're, although I'm given to understand that Dynamite at least is getting better because the ratings are actually going up, generally
Oh no,
speaking.
yeah, yeah, that was gonna say, yeah, Dynamite is because they actually having storylines, not the best, but when the Hurt Syndicate came back or
Came
started
there.
in there, yeah, it came there. Um, it did seem to get better.
Yeah, I think they might actually be. It seems to me because they did get a new television deal, but I bet you part of that closed door conversation was, listen, Tony, we need to get these numbers back to where they were. We trust you, we have faith in you, but you got to be here, or we can't do this again. If you can't be at 600,000, you got to be closer to that million.
I would put it this way: for a company that's only 5 years old, maybe six, it's pretty good, in that sense. And while we always compare it to like WWE, they've been around for like 30 plus years. So in that sense, it's kind of good, but it's still not good TV. For
The
someone to come out five
Yeah.
years and be on par with the guy who's been there for 30 years, it's kind of,
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a miss. See, with AEW, what my problem is they frustrate me because I know they can do better because I've seen them
yeah,
do better.
yeah, same here.
That's what's frustrating me. Like, yeah, I'm not expecting them to compete with WWE.
Hmm.
Frankly, I'm kind of surprised that Tony Khan was talking as much shit as he was, because it's like, as I always talk about how Triple H says, is like,
Yeah, he
congratulations.
does that all the time.
Yeah,
Like
it's
he
like,
always compares to WWE. Why?
well, only when they're winning, and then when they're not winning, they're like, well,
Exactly.
WWE is this massive company, and as Triple H
Yeah,
says, like, congratulations, you beat our
yeah.
developmental.
Like they kept what Tony. I mean, Tony said they sent bots,
Yeah,
Russian bots to
yeah.
get him.
Russia does not care enough about your wrestling company, Tony. All right, well, so like I said, I kind of already did the spot for the RTA podcast, so check that out. And don't forget to vote for us in the RT Awards if you're joining us right now. First link in the description below. So now we have Survivor Series, and this is a WWE pay-per-view. So what? 5 matches tops?
Yeah, I believe so.
Like maybe four?
I oh god, I didn't have it queued up.
That's all good.
Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like not many. It's nowhere near as long as
Yeah,
this
that's
one.
that's been the trend. WWE's events are short and sweet, to the point. They don't overstay their welcome. Like I'm
Hmm.
amazed how well they've adapted to that new model. Like they get it, which makes sense because they kind of made it. But
Yeah. Also, okay, if you look at the match time, AEW wasn't that long, but it feels like it's long. Like it
they have a
feels like
pacing
the
issue.
match is exactly, exactly.
Yeah, the thing is they're not that much different
Hmm.
overall. Well, yes and no, because if you account the pre-shows too, AEW is usually about 5 hours or so, and WWE's are usually about four. So there's usually about just shy of four. So there's about an hour difference. But
Yeah,
yeah, AEW's are five and feel like eight.
yeah,
So
because
yeah.
okay, like the Will and Kyle Fletcher match, they could have cut that down at least about 20 minutes, and
Oh,
it would have
sure.
been phenomenal. It would have
Yep.
been a great match, but the time brings all this matches down. The Costco guys versus QT, that was a waste of time.
Yeah, it's just a
Time
waste of
and
time.
money.
Yeah, for although they probably didn't pay him if I'm going to be honest.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they paid them. I almost guarantee you they pay them.
I don't know, AEW some of the people that AEW puts in that ring, it seems like they're like,
Doing for free.
yeah, well, it's like you have the privilege of wrestling in our ring. And he
Yeah,
was like, yeah, I'll totally do it for free. Except Tony
doing it
Khan's
for a
not smart.
sandwich.
Tony Khan's not that smart. It's like, no,
Okay.
no, we have to give you base pay. How's 500,000?
The whole pay per view was only like an hour. No. 2 hours. About 2 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
first
basically
match
Raw.
was Yeah, yeah. The first match was the War Games. It was the women's War Games match.
Yeah, I saw that EO did the trash can spot again,
Yeah, yeah.
which this is one of those things where personally I hate it,
Hmm.
but people like it, and I understand that people like it. And in terms of dumb things to do in a wrestling ring, it's low on the list. It's not. I just don't understand why people don't just move out of the way
Hmm.
and just let her crash and burn in the trash can.
I, I honestly would love to see that because
But
I don't
didn't
give
she
a
do a
shit. Let's see.
moonsault with it this time? Or was
She did.
that she
No, she
did?
did.
Yeah.
She did. Because Tony, not Tony, Tiffany,
Yeah.
Tiffany time did too on the
No, no,
opposite
no. I
side.
mean with the trash can on.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. That's I
It
figured
was
out who Tiffany Stratton reminds me of.
cool.
Or actually, no, take that back because I okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but I'm a little out of the pop culture pulse a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
I I I had seen like videos of Sabrina Carpenter just floating around social media, and I was like, she looks familiar, but I don't know who she is, and now I know where I recognize her from now. It's been some time, but now I click who she is. But I was like, she looked familiar for two reasons. One, I actually knew who she was, but I'd seen her in a TV show, and
Hmm.
she reminds me of Tiffany Stratton.
I have no idea who that is.
If you Google Sabrina Carpenter, you'll see who I'm talking about.
Okay.
You'll see it. You'll see it. That being said, though, still a big Tiffany Stratton fan.
Oh yeah, same there. When I first saw Tiffany in NXT, I was like, wow, they have something there.
When the first time she said Tiffy time, I'd seen it after I'd seen a couple of her matches, and I was like, God, I should hate that, but it works with her because
Hmm.
she knows how to do it right.
To me, is well, I don't like this like recent run with her so much with the Money in the Bank or Women's in the Bank match. It's not that good, especially with Nia. It's like, I don't know, it's taken
Yeah.
away from her. It's make her less of a threat. Before it was like she was on her own and like a serious hill. Now it's like she's a henchman or henchwoman.
See, ironically, people like Nia Jackson, Lance Archer they work as heels, but only for a finite amount of time because if they're baby faces, they feel inclined to play by the rules and play fair, so it
Yeah.
works. But when they're heels, you have to be quick about it because Big Show was kind of the same way, where to a certain point, you just start asking yourself, why is this person not world champion and never losing the belt? Like, let's
Yeah.
be honest,
Yeah.
because there's such a clear advantage over everyone. Lance Archer in particular, because not only is he a giant, but he can move. Like
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen him
weird because
do
he
it.
doesn't move like a giant, like the
Yeah,
sluggish giant. He actually works, and moves
yeah.
good.
And the thing is, if Lance Archer's a babyface, it makes more sense because he doesn't want to he feels inclined to again, play by the rules, not have too much of an unfair advantage because I mean obviously he's big. He's going to be inclined to challenge the biggest of the big guys to be a level playing field.
Hmm.
And then like a Darby Allen Lance Archer match, if Lance Archer's a heel, will last 3 seconds. If Lance Archer is a baby face, that could actually work.
Yeah,
Because in all reality, if Lance Archer just sits on Darby Allen, just sit on his chest, he cannot kick out. It's not possible. So that match is over, and our Darby Allen's dead
again.
again.
It's like Kenny from South Park. He dies every week.
And funnily enough, if Lance Archer sits on him, he sounds the same.
Yeah. I miss South Park.
I'm still doing a rewatch of it, man, and I gotta tell
Oh,
you,
you are?
it's even funnier. The
Oh
older
yeah.
I get, the funnier it is for me. But I laugh at the I don't laugh at the toilet humor anymore. I laugh at the Star Trek references and like the really clever jokes, like the fact that what's the one where where Mrs. Garrison becomes a lesbian?
I vaguely remember that.
Well, and the lesbian bar is Lesbos.
Oh yeah, yes, I remember. I remember. Yeah,
Oh my God, this is so fucking funny.
my favorite episode was when they gave themselves like ball cancer.
I love that one.
It's
No,
bouncing on there.
but you know what the best joke in that episode is for me anyway? Is like because they get you with the bouncing, right? But the funniest running gag in that episode is the fact that like when he's like, Sharon, my eyes are up here. And
Yeah,
then
oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
but then it turns out she is staring at him the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh my God. It's,
And like that episode made me laugh so much because it's a
it's
real legitimate guy that had that sack that big.
what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't cancer. It was like, oh, it
Well,
was like a tumor or something
yeah, I
like that.
assume it was the cancer, but
But yeah, he legitimately had like a one giant one, like that size, and he used to wear like sweatpants to cover it up and wrap it. It was. I've seen some weird stuff.
I guess. I suppose so. But yeah, God, that's a good episode.
Yeah, or in the gluten.
Yeah. Yeah, and then oh God. And then um the one that gives me it's a real early episode is because we were doing the Final Frontier. I knew it was a reference to an episode of Star Trek, but I like the whole episode is just a parody of a parody. It's a parody of a particular episode of Star Trek,
Uh-huh.
like beat by beat. It's the same story, and
Yeah,
it's so funny. It's also one of my favorite jokes because I for years I wondered what the reference was for. Like in the episode, the doctor says planetarium instead of planetarium.
yeah,
And I'm like, what's this a reference to? It's a reference to nothing. They just found it funny. I'm like, God damn. For decades, I was like, what is this a reference of?
yeah. You could tell it's a like trying to
But
make
it's
it like a
not.
reference to something. But yeah, I
It's
thought it
not.
was.
It's just because they thought planetarium was funny. And then how they explain it is so stupid. I love it. It's like, suffer from a bone disease that makes me unable to pronounce the T in planetarium. And then all Garrison says, well, that sounds like a really weird bone disease. Yes, hopefully one day I'll be cured. And that's it. That's all they go. That's the extent
Gotta
of it.
rewatch this.
Yeah, and but what's funny about that though is that sort of inspired me to just for fun, I will pronounce certain arium like I pronounce aquariums aquarium when I want to be funny, and it confuses people because it's not incorrect. It's just atypical.
Yeah,
But yeah, so because of that episode of where they go to the planet area, well, so we named that episode of the Final Frontier. Oh, so that's why they call it a planet area.
yeah. Like now I get a lot of the references, especially the Star Trek ones, because
Yeah.
I wasn't really into Star Trek as much back then, but like now I actually like it. So
Oh, so please tell me you watched the Final Frontier.
yeah,
Okay, thank
of
thank
course.
you. I those episodes take so much time to edit, and I'll be honest, if I had known how long those were gonna take, I probably wouldn't have done the show this year. I probably would have
Uh-huh.
waited to premiere it next year.
Uh-huh.
But God damn it, they're so much fun. Like there's just about every episode there's a moment where I don't have a lot of time. I'm not rushing, but it's like and then I come to a moment in the episode where I'm like, okay, I can edit this the right way and it's going to
Uh-huh.
take a long time or I can half-ass it, but I can't half-ass it.
I guess yeah.
Like
But
in the
it's well worth it.
yeah, because
I
like
like it.
there's a gag in the second episode where I compare Captain Kirk rolling through like the brush to
Yeah.
the moment in the Emperor's New Groove where Kronk is sneaking out and doing his own theme song. And
Another
it's like,
good show.
and I'm like, well, I could just leave this alone. But then I'm like, or I could take the clip from Emperor's New Groove and put Kirk's face over Kronk. And the thing is, I'm like, God, that'd be funny. And then I pause for a minute and I'm like, fuck, I know how to do that. But I know it's going to take a long fucking time. And I'm like,
Those are the best edits in
I
any
went,
edit.
and then
It's
I went,
like it's worth it.
and then I went, fuck it. It lasts for less than 4 seconds. It took me
Yeah,
2 hours. But when I watched it,
that's
I still
commitment.
watch it and I'm like, God, it's so funny. Because I actually, midway through it, I realized it would be funnier if I changed Kirk's face to a different expression.
Uh-huh.
It's worth it. That's in the second episode, Space Trippers, for those of you that want to check that out. You'll know it when you see it. It's quite
Uh-huh.
funny. I was proud of that. But
Like I
anyway,
love almost anything track except for new track.
I really see. I'm hesitant because after I haven't watched any new Trek since Enterprise.
Oh, good then. Yeah, the rest is garbage. I STD, horrible show.
Even Strange New Worlds, because I hear that's quite good.
Strange new turds. It's horrible,
One of
man.
those. Yeah.
It's they had dancing Klingons in Strange New Worlds. Like they was literally like a boy band of four of them dancing.
Was this in the musical episode though?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I was
I,
curious about it, and then I heard they did a musical episode, and I was just like, really?
but it wasn't the only musical episode. They did one earlier before. It was Spock and number one stuck in the elevator. That was like
Uh,
early on another season. Then another season did another musical. It's like
um,
it's
so now I have to before we get back to the match, I have to ask then. So do you like the Orville?
I like the first and second season. Third season, couldn't stand it. I hated
Really?
Charlie. Yeah, I hated Charlie.
Did you
When she
finish it
died,
though?
I clapped.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I
I'm
gotta
sorry.
say, I hated Charlie too. Because I was
Yeah,
like, I get it, but at the same time, you're being kind of dumb. I loved the end of that arc, man. I thought that was so good.
I liked it certain episodes. Like I like the sandwich came back. Like I was waiting for that.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting.
That part.
Apparently season 4 is in pre-production. So
It won't be the same. The girl left.
what
Um,
girl?
his wife.
Oh, Kelly?
Yeah. Kelly. She left.
Aw,
She left the show.
bummer.
Well, at least that was she said. She was like, "It's good, but I won't be there."
Well, hello, Finn Balor.
Hello,
Thank you for
Finn.
joining us. Oh no, his username is Finn Balor. If only, if only it were the real Finn Balor.
Who
I feel
knows?
like
Maybe
Finn.
it is.
I feel like Finn Balor's into Star Trek.
Maybe.
I would not be surprised. Hey Finn, do me a favor and say you would like me to the. I'm not buying it. If you're the real Finn Balor,
He's the real one.
he's the real one. If you're the real Finn Balor, do me a favor and say you would like me to upload those old episodes of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up because I said I would if I got one comment. Anyway, so the women, yes,
See,
all
I knew it.
caps. I don't know what that means. I need you to tell me specifically. Anyway, so
That's
the
real
women's
life.
war game match. That's good enough. It's good enough. Yeah, maybe I'll upload those on the off weeks where we don't do a show. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's fair. Now, I will warn everybody, they're in an old video format, so they're not going to look as.
Honestly, I love old school. I was looking at YouTube since the beginning,
I'm
like
amazed at
so. I
how
love
old.
old school.
I'm amazed how old it looks, honestly, because it was not state of the art, but it was. I'll put it to you this way: HD wasn't a thing when we did the first season. Well, no, it was,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was brand spanking new, and
yeah,
broadcast was not in HD yet. Remember when WWE switched over to HD broadcast? They made a
yeah,
big deal about it.
yeah.
WWE HD was a thing for like
Uh,
3 months.
I remember when YouTube the highest like resolution was like 480p.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So like I'm really old school.
I think these are 480p actually. Fun fact. So the women's war game match. Any highlights and who won?
It was
Well, first of
okay.
all,
It was
what were the teams? I guess that's
oh
the
yeah, 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 you're right, you're right. Let me go back.
good
It
place to start.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it
Oh,
was
we lost Finn Balor.
I just had okay. It was Nia Jax, Tiffy, uh oh Raquel,
Oh, Raquel
and
Rodriguez.
yeah, and it was oh god, what is her name? She's married to Johnny
Oh,
Gargano.
not Candice LeRae.
No, no. Yeah, 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 and her.
I almost said Lacey Evans. I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lacey's is gone. It was them versus Bailey and Naomi, uh, Io Sky, and it was someone else I'm missing.
I must
Oh,
be out of the
Naomi.
loop. I must be
Yeah,
out of the
Naomi.
loop that Bailey and Io Sky were on the same team.
That was a part of like the issue that like Nia brought up. It was like, weren't you guys enemies like last year? Didn't she just beat you up, betray you? She's supposed to be your friend. So that was like,
It's like, well, that's right up there with, wait a second. Aren't you supposed to be Jamaican?
exactly.
Yeah, I guess the New Day's doing something where Kofi and
Nikki
Xavier Woods
or
are,
Xavier.
or I don't know. They're all fighting finally. So I'm like,
Oh no, yeah, I saw it. It was like when Xavier he's going heel ish in a way, and Kofi was like, "Oh, don't do that. We're good guys, you know." And then later on, Kofi will join him.
okay. I just remember there was one promo that actually I thought was really quite good. Is Xavier's giving him shit, and then Kofi's like, yeah, well, you know why you've never been a world champion? Because you're just not good enough. And I'm like, oh shit. Somebody finally fucking said it.
Yeah,
Kidding. I'm kidding. I like,
I like Kofi. He's my
yeah,
favorite
I
heel.
like Kofi a lot.
Honestly, when New Day first came out, I hated it because I was like, "Oh, these two guys is gonna bring Kofi down." It's like,
Well, well, they did in a
yeah,
way.
yeah, 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 yeah. Especially when they first came out, it was supposed to be like a gospel type thing, and then later on,
Oh,
like,
where
they
it did, it grew on me. It grew on me fast because again, they committed to the bit.
did. They was getting booed and all that, but they still committed to it. Oh, I forgot it was what is this girl name? My brain's not all there.
Well, Tony Khan here alludes to that.
Yeah, oh God. I can't remember. I'll remember tomorrow. But anyway, it was like one spot they had like a toilet seat. And, yeah. And Naomi put it on Nair's head, then like use the bathroom or her head in a way, rub her butt in her face.
What?
Yeah, yeah. That was a spot.
Okay.
Like I said, it was all over match. It was
I'm
not the best, but it wasn't the worst.
glad I missed that.
I thought it was like a reference to Vince.
I thought it was I would think it would be a reference to Rikishi, if anything, but
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, but
it's
after
like it's like really a toilet seat. Hmm,
yeah.
interesting. All right, so who won that bout?
Oh, it was the good guys.
Io, Bailey, and Naomi, and
Yeah. They did one spot where was it? Oh yeah, Candice LeRae. I think she missed a spot and hit her head on the turnbuckle. It looked
Ooh,
horrible, but
it looked horrible, but then I'd stop caring.
yeah, it was okay. But oh yeah, and Rhea was there.
Oh, I
She
heard
threw.
she came out and cleaned house, didn't she? She wasn't on a team though.
She did. No, she was on the good guys team. She's the one who won. She fought against Liv. She did like the riptide through a table.
Oh, so she was on the good guys team.
Yeah, yeah, because it
Cool.
was Bailey, Io, Rhea.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to
Naomi.
see Rhea Ripley in a ring always. So
Yeah, I think
cool.
her nose is broken or something, or her eye socket.
Oh, her orbital bone?
Yeah, 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 something's broken because she's wearing like a mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
So
would make sense.
yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay. After that was Shinsuke Nakamura versus oh
Yeah, for the
LA
US
Knight.
title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's funny. This is an accident. I didn't know. I saw a
I
video
know.
of
I
his
saw your shirt.
I
I had
saw
to
a
look it up.
video of his entrance, of Shinsuke's entrance, and
Hmm.
I'm like, honestly, kind of cool. Interesting vibe, but are they finally treating Shinsuke seriously?
I would put he's treating himself seriously more now. But it's it's seriously, but it's kind of comical because he did it before, like when he was stalking. I forgot
When he
who he
was
was
stalking
stalking.
Cody?
Cody. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was Cody. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it kind of went nowhere.
yeah.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for half of New Japan Shinsuke to come out. I'll take half at this point.
This one seems like a darker version of that. Like he's
Oh
more.
no, see that's
Yeah.
the thing though, because when Shinsuke started doing the King of Strong style, it
Hmm.
was a very similar vibe, and then he eventually kind of became a babyface because everybody just respected it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's very much how it started. So maybe I'm hoping because God, Shinsuke in New Japan was can't miss.
Yeah, yeah.
It
It's
was
like
so
it
good.
feels like it's like 10 years too late.
I mean, because it probably is. And just Shinsuke came into WWE at the time when they really didn't know what to do with him in that
Hmm.
style. NXT did because he had a great match with Sami Zayn.
He did. That's the first time I ever saw him. Yeah, that was my first match watching him. Was him and Sammy. I was like, wow, I don't know this guy, but he's really good.
Yeah. Oh no, I'd been watching Shinsuke for a couple years at that point, and I was like Shinsuke was my favorite wrestler in New Japan because he was just go back. You can find him, I'm sure, on
Hmm.
YouTube or probably free older matches. They're a lot of times free on NJPW World.
Uh-huh.
Go back and watch some of those. Like he did one, I forget what. I think it might have been Wrestle Kingdom, but he had a match with Kota Ibushi back when
Okay.
both of them were much better.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
holy crap, I mean, it's so good. And then he had a match with AJ that was unbelievable. Like they looked like, in a good way, they looked like they were killing each other.
I heard of that one, but I never saw it
It's
live.
worth the watch. It's really
Uh,
good.
I remember him and Samoa Joe, like he kicked the crap out of Samoa Joe and
Yeah.
broke his jaw. I was like, oh my God.
So that is the one criticism I've heard about strong style is the fact that it's like you don't actually have to hit that hard,
Yeah.
but it looks good on TV.
Yeah, he legitimately like kicked the hell out of Samoa Joe. Like I think it was like Samoa cried for a bit, like he screamed.
It's like, what? You kicked me in the leg.
The sad thing is like Samoa Joe is so tough. Like he had to get up and take another one just to lose.
Those things suck, though. I think people
Yeah,
don't understand how much those leg kicks hurt. Even light ones,
yeah.
like they fucking suck, dude. they just and for a wrestler, there's no good way to counter them because
Mm-hmm.
if you counter it, it doesn't look or sound as good. So you kind of just
Yeah,
have to take it. And
yeah, it's one
oh
of those moves you just gotta like commit to it.
yeah. But the thing is, like, well, really, in a real fight, one good one can take out a leg. But two or three decent ones in a pro wrestling match can still
Yeah,
make it to where it's like the last thing you want to do is stand, much less run. But yeah, so did LA Knight win or did Shinsuke win?
no, Shinsuke won. He's now the U.S.
He's now the
champion.
U.S. title, the
Yep,
newest title holder, the U.S. champion.
yep.
Oh yeah, I mean, hi,
Honestly, it's like I'm in two minds. Like I'm glad they finally like seem to be booking him good,
yeah,
but the other way is like LA Knight. He was so good at White Hot at one bit, and then like now it's just
yeah. It's Swerve and Bobby all
exact,
over again.
exactly.
Yeah, I get it, but LA Knight will be okay
Yeah, somehow he always bounces back.
because he always has that Slim Jim money
And video games. Like he
and
does
video
like
games.
the stuff with
Oh
2K.
yeah, that's right. He did the mocap for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah. Our truth. So many guys.
Alrighty, what we got next?
All right, the next one is Sheamus versus who is this?
Oh, Sheamus is back.
Oh, Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw something about him having a singles match.
Yeah. Didn't see I saw clips of this one. Oh, and also Braun Breaker was in it too.
Oh, there was a three-way.
Yeah, yeah.
I so Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, how was it? Because his gimmick doesn't really work as a singles to me. But
In this sense, it kind of did because he let them fight for a bit and then like he just like picked the pieces.
oh, okay, okay,
So like
I gotcha. And then that lucky son of a bitch is actually legitimately in a
oh yeah,
relationship with.
marry not no
Oh, they're
not marry.
married. Yeah,
They
are they
are?
married? I don't know. No, I don't know. He's in an intimate relationship with Tiffy, so
Yeah,
he gets Tiffy time and
all the time.
all the time.
But Breaker won
Of course he
again.
did. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's gonna drop it in like 2 months tops.
Drop what?
The title.
Which title?
The oh, it was for the
The
was it?
Intercontinental title?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's gonna drop it because he's gonna run into a wall. It's like, God, I love me some Braun Breaker, but I mean, it seems like in order to beat him, he has to injure himself. Like,
You're right. Because all those matches with Sammy, it was like, oh, he could hurt himself. That's the only
no,
way he's gonna
he
lose.
he ran into something. That's how you beat Braun Breaker, by the way. You just have him run into a table or something.
Or I wish someone would like just step to the side and let him like just run the ropes back and
Yeah,
forth on his own.
which should be fair. That's what we all want to see. So he can run those ropes fast.
He really does though that
It's
really
real
does.
fast.
Yeah.
All right, what we got next?
The next one is oh Gunther versus Damian Priest
Ooh, how
for
was that?
the WWE champion. It was great. I like
I
this one.
imagine.
This was my favorite one. Okay, it was like more of a typical slow match, holds, all that stuff, but
Sure.
it wasn't that exciting. And honestly, it was probably Gunther's weakest match that he
Really?
had. Yeah,
Hmm.
it wasn't like you could tell it's Gunther, but it was like I don't know, like
Was
he
he
missed
hurt
a
or
step or
something?
something. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's because they was booking him like he lost on Raw, I think one time, and so he's like doubting himself a little bit. So so they're trying to like play that
They're
role like,
taking
oh,
they're taking my Daniel Garcia storyline
exactly, exactly.
before I made it. Those thieving bastards, they time traveled. Or maybe it's just a good idea or something.
Bit weird
So
though.
so Damien retained.
No,
Oh,
Punk did.
Gunther has the
Yeah,
Gunther has the
the WWE title
okay,
or
the
whatever it's
WWE
called.
title. Yep, yep, yep. Wait, it's not undisputed anymore? Oh, the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, yeah, right,
Okay,
yeah.
I was confusing myself. I was wait, no, that title's unified. Which kind of love that we unified the two world titles, then we just make another one. It's almost like the belts don't mean anything.
Oh, they did make a few women's titles. I think they made like a US women's title now and one more.
Honestly, what they should have done, let's be real, if they wanted to have a women's mid card title, they should have just brought back the Divas Championship.
They can't.
Sure,
Like
they
it's
can.
not, oh, they can, but like it's too much of a negative connotation to the word diva now, so they
Yeah,
can't.
that's true. Vince ruined that too.
Yeah, like we all stars, like I said. So they're no longer divas, even though it was good.
So a lot of people don't remember this, but when WWE first rolled out ECW real early, the wrestlers on because in WWE they're called superstars. Um,
Yeah,
in early ECW they were referred to as extremists,
yeah.
and the female the women were referred to as vixens
I remember. I remember.
on
Yeah.
television.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Thankfully, that didn't last very long.
It wouldn't age well. It wouldn't be good for optics.
Neither, but to be fair, neither did Kevin Thorne.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the last match was for the War Games Survivor Series. It was Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk
Like Mussolini.
versus the Bloodline.
Yep. So we
Solo, Jacob Tamataga or Tamatonga and Tongaloa. And also Bronson Reed. They brought him in.
why?
Not sure he's related, but it looks similar.
I was gonna say Bronson Reed's Irish.
He fits in though, still. I think he's
Well, I
Samoan
mean
too, or something.
he fits in as well as Sami Zayn does.
That's true, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, it was basically Bloodline versus OG Bloodline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I
And
I heard it was fun. I heard it was a decent match.
it was the parts that made it fun was like the interactions between Punk and Roman.
Yeah.
That was like the best part of it. The matches themselves, it was
Yeah.
okay. It was like a typical. It was nothing like, oh, I remember.
Yeah,
No.
I kind of got the vibe that the build up for the match was the real sort of highlight because
Oh yeah, it was. It was. It was. Yeah.
I know there was a bit where like Paul Heyman comes out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
gets reintroduced, which I heard that pop that he got
Oh,
when
he
it
did.
just said "Ladies and gentlemen."
Yeah. No
It's
one
like
was expecting Paul to
wow,
come back, and
no,
he
and
came
then
back with Punk.
yeah,
So
so
that was a plus.
that took asses out of seats, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that
so
was a ratings pop.
that was demonstrably a better show,
Yeah, it was. It was like it was short, neat, and okay. It wasn't the best.
but
Like
everything made sense and nothing was
yeah.
glaringly awful.
Hmm.
Nothing was stupid. Well, okay. No single match was stupid. There might have been
Nah,
moments, but
like exactly. There was like some parts like kind of threw me off. It's like why are they doing that? Like they had like Rhea when she came in the match, like they threw a toilet seat at her or something like that. It was it was stupid stuff like that,
this is the shits.
but it was no like. AEW
See, that's got
for
to be an in joke with the wrestlers. Just be like toilet seat. It's the shits. Uh,
it has to be. I never
it's
seen
got to
it
be.
before.
Well, we've kept everyone here long enough. Unless you have any other final thoughts on Survivor Series.
No, my brain's dead.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, because actually we've been going for quite a while here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
actually, like almost 2.5 hours. So yes, we'll wrap this up for everyone.
Oh well.
Thank you for watching this episode of Down the Middle. Please don't forget to vote for us for this year's Artie Awards. Link is first in the description. Also, check out our friends at Leading the Band and the Arte podcast, particularly our latest episode. Feel free to vote for them too, because we're not in every category. Wink, wink, hint, hint. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks. And next week, look out. There might be an old episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up, but what I'll probably do is it'll probably start with episode 3 because, like I said, the first two are awful and they probably will never see the light of day. Although I don't know, I'll just start them in order. It'll be interesting to go back and look at what was going on WWE television back then,
That's
or
true.
wrestling, because that was
Hmm.
it. Oh no, TNA was on, but we weren't covering it. But
Yeah, it
anyway,
was a different
it was a
atmosphere back
way
then too.
different era. Yeah, it was way different. But until then, I must bid you adieu. We must bid you adieu. Goodbye and good
See
night.
ya.
I'm not saying it.
Bang.
Bong.